I won't stop till I hear him say,
Okay, what is going on, CYPRX advanced YouTubers? Welcome back to the CYPRX YouTube page. As always, if you're interested in learning about cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, foreign exchange, please go ahead and consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. In today's video breakdown, we are going to cover some technical analysis on Casper. I'm going to go over a full trade breakdown of a position that I placed 2 days ago on August 7th when I tweeted out to you guys, if Casper can hold 2.5 cents, we should be targeting the 4.5 cent to 5.5 cent psychological level. I currently partialed out of this position and I'm seeking to reallocate funds back into Casper once we do see a sign of a reversal. I will go into that full technical analysis breakdown and I will cover why I think 2.5 cents is very significant. But first, I want to play some video snippets showing you guys the long-term perspective of Casper. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video breakdown that I've pieced together for you guys, listening to some of the head executives at Casper Labs. Just pay attention and listen to what these highly intuitive individuals have to say. And as always, make sure that if you guys enjoy these video breakdowns, you are smashing that thumbs up button and subscribing to the YouTube channel. When we reach 10,000 YouTube subs, we are going to be giving away 100 XRP. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video breakdown.
Everyone's still early. Like, sure, a decade ago was super early, but you know, this is like the internet before Netscape. Like, the Netscape moment hasn't happened yet. And so, you know, everyone's early. Like, if people think oh my God, I shouldn't bother about this, I missed the train, you didn't. There's a lot more to come.
Kind of like, what's your strategy for developer adoption and attracting developers to your platform in a competitive space?
Yeah, so first it's the product, right? And then I'll talk about specifically what we do. But the product really matters because which developers are you targeting? And our view is, well, all 30 million of them. So that's why we embraced open programming standards, right? So it's Rust, TypeScript, and assembly script today, soon to be followed by a bunch of other languages, which really opens this up, a business need that cannot be solved if blockchain technology does not exist. And in general, I'd say we really look for those. We're like, you know, don't be a guy with a hammer who's just looking for a nail. It's like, let's see if we can actually solve an issue, like increase efficiency, reduce cost, actually bring value to end users and customers.
Yeah.
Kick it off by getting a brief introduction of Casper Labs. Could you please give us a short explanation of what is Casper Labs and why you and your team believe that it is the future of decentralization?
Absolutely. So we are building a layer 1 public decentralized blockchain that implements Vlad Zamfir's CBC Casper proof of stake consensus system. And this completely eliminates proof of work as a means of securing the network. Casper relies on economics, incentives, and slashing to secure the network and keep participants honest. So once you eliminate the hashing exercise from the protocol, you get quite a bit of computational efficiency, not to mention the inherent throttling mechanism that is associated with proof of work. And as you know, there's a lot of excitement in the blockchain space, and you know, the two leading blockchains out there are Bitcoin and Ethereum, and of course they're fully decentralized, right? And there's a reason for this, is, you know, the value proposition of blockchain really comes from being completely decentralized and permissionless. That's where you get the security and the, you know, what I like to refer to fault tolerance around the transactions. You know, they.
So for the people that do know a little bit about Ethereum, what you're saying is that Casper is really a complementary service that's going to upgrade Ethereum, or is it going to be having its own blockchain in a competitive-like manner? How does that fit into the Ethereum ecosystem?
Yeah, so, you know, we see ourselves as being able to do the research and take the risk that Ethereum cannot, because Ethereum is supporting, they have a lot of users on it. They have, you know, a lot of capital that is, you been developed against Ethereum. And so as a project becomes larger and larger, even a company, right? You think about,
You could just reiterate what Casper Labs is working on, what's on the cusp, maybe on the horizon for your company, and what people can expect.
yeah, so definitely, look to see us penetrating the enterprise blockchain space. We are working with a lot of really exciting channel partners and bringing customers live using Casper technology. We're fully focused now on building like a core software development services organization, right? So that's really what our focus is. But then additionally, also building the developer community and working with the association to help support onboarding of developers onto the Casper network. So it's really, the story is we've built a protocol that we believe that enterprises will want to use. We've gotten fantastic customer feedback from them about what we've built. Now it's really about building real world use cases using this technology and getting them live.
Which developers are you targeting? And our view is, well, all 30 million of them. So that's why
And for those developers that are looking to get involved, what is the long-term vision that they should see from your team in 2 years from now? What does Casper Labs look like? Is the mainnet running? We see a scalable Ethereum. What else would we see as the project comes to fruition?
Yeah, definitely we see mainnet running in 2 years. I'm very optimistic that will happen, and we will see a lot of something very similar to Ethereum, I think, that does provide scale. You'll see fantastic developer tools. I take user experience very seriously, and I believe that the user experience is somewhat lackluster. I hope to see great and broad support for mobile accounts and mobile wallets. The ability to store private keys on a mobile device is seminal, I think, for a DApp developer. You'll see great tools for middleware, putting information on the blockchain, but equally importantly, getting information out of the blockchain. I think that right now you kind of send your transactions to Ethereum and they kind of just disappear into, they land on the blockchain, but getting any state information out of the global computer is very difficult. So we see ourselves as building a fantastic ecosystem for developer tools and DApp developer tools, as well as a growing adoption of the blockchain and new and great features such as homogeneous sharding and side chains as well.
So what's the end result of this? Proof of work is less efficient, slower, but it's easy to implement in a decentralized manner. Proof of stake is faster, much more efficient, but really, really hard to implement in a decentralized manner. CBC Casper, we believe, is the breakthrough that can make this possible. CBC Casper, we believe, is
Okay, welcome back. So before we jump into the technical analysis, I just want to read 2 tweets that I put out to you guys. The first tweet is Casper Network provides developers with the best protocol for building decentralized applications. Casper brings a unique combination of scalability, security, and decentralization to the world's decentralized global infrastructure. Retweet if you hold Casper. I think that is a very significant tweet. It got a lot of takes on Twitter, meaning that there is a lot of support in the Casper community. You guys, I think that Casper is going to be a game changer. We're early on, as you guys saw the CEO of Casper say in that video breakdown that I just played for you guys. As retail investors operating in the crypto space in 2022, especially considering the 2030 agenda, we are extremely early. You guys need to understand how big Casper is going to be for the decentralized ecosystem, okay? Blessings to you guys all for returning to this video breakdown. Let's jump into the technical analysis. So right here, I want to take your attention to a tweet that I put out to you guys. This was on August 7th at roughly around 4:30 p.m. So I said to you guys, if 2.5 cents can hold, we will be targeting 4.5 cents psychological level to 5.5 cents intraday swing targets over time. If price reverse bearish below 2.5 cents, I will update the analysis. Overall, 9.5 cents to 10 cents April highs is the threshold Casper must break to scream the bottom is in. So with that being said, from the time and the moment that I put out that tweet to you guys, you can see that we almost ran up up to 4 cents. Very beautiful price action on Casper. Again, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure that you do so. We are shadow banned on Twitter. So the best way to follow me on Twitter is to copy the link in the description below the YouTube video breakdowns. With that being said, I've currently partialed out of this trade. I'm looking to reallocate funds back into Casper once we do see a sign of a reversal, maybe towards another New York session. Tomorrow we have CPI, if I'm not mistaken, coming out for the United States dollar. So we should see some price volatility. Maybe I will seek to get into another position on Casper. I will update you guys on such price action if that does take place. However, right now we are partialed out of this position. It is always smart to, take partials when the market presents them to you. Again, that's just how I personally trade as a scalper / intraday trading strategy, growing my portfolio over time. So just breaking down this trade, before we do that, I want to jump back to the analysis showing you guys why I think that if 2.5 cents can hold, most likely we are going to see that the bottom is in on Casper. So let's just revert back to the bottom of June. Okay, when we were seeing that 2.5 cent price action on Casper, I just want to take your attention. Let's turn on the session splits, and I want to show you guys how almost every single New York session since we've broken above 2.5 cents, the New York session banking institutions or whoever's in control of the market via how Casper trades, they have been buying Casper above 2.5 cents. So if we just pay attention to the red line, that is where I've synchronized the New York session to take place. You guys can see that almost every single session since we've grabbed liquidity beneath 2.5 cents and broken above that 2.5 cent psychological level, Casper has been bought. Okay, so just taking your attention back here to those June lows, roughly at around 2.5 cents, we are building liquidity in the form of double bottom or triple bottom formations. Again, this is a retail pattern where a lot of people were seeing this as bullish support. Again, the market makers must go lower before they go higher, and they create that market maker pattern that I teach you guys on the YouTube channel, which is a sweep of liquidity and a significant higher low that leads to a bullish momentum run. Okay, you guys can see here all of that triple bottom retail liquidity in the form of a quote unquote supportive region, where we can see a triple touch of a supportive region. The banking institutions came, they liquidated any over leveraged players trading beneath this supportive region, and then we created a significant higher low that has pushed the price of Casper above the 2.5 cent psychological level. And ever since then, the banking institutions have been buying up price. Now, with that being said, in my personal opinion, this 2.5 cent psychological level where this liquidity grab took place needs to hold for Casper to remain bullish. If at any given point in time, we break below this significant area or this 2.5 cent threshold, most likely we're going to come and grab the liquidity beneath June lows. Now, Casper is still heavily manipulated by Bitcoin's price action. So that means we need to be watching Bitcoin's price action, where if Bitcoin falls beneath the June lows, Casper is going to follow suit. So where would that put us on Casper? Let me get rid of the replay tool just to give you guys my overall bearish targets on Casper. Let's get rid of that. All right. So Casper, in my personal opinion, the lowest that I think Casper can go is 1.5 cents to liquidate the June lows. If Bitcoin does break that $17,500 threshold, most likely all the rest of the cryptocurrency market is going to follow suit to liquidate June lows, where we have leveraged buy positions beneath June lows. So again, that in my personal opinion is going to send Casper's price down to roughly 2 to 1.5 cents, which would be a significant buying opportunity compared to the future potential of Casper. Again, not financial advice. Did I buy roughly at around 2.5 cents? And am I dollar cost averaging into Casper at these low prices? Absolutely. So that leads me to going over to a dollar cost average position that I placed on Casper on August 7th when I tweeted out to you guys that we could potentially be running up into 4.5 to 5.5 cents. Here are those bullish targets displayed for you guys right here. Here is how the trade played out. I've since then currently taking partials out of this trade, and I will be seeking to reallocate funds back into Casper. In the next couple of trading days, we have some major impactful news coming out for the United States dollar, as well as for the Great British Pound on Wednesday and Thursday. That will most likely drive some market volatility. So with that being said, let's just jump into the small technical analysis now that you guys have my short-term bullish and bearish targets. Again, short-term bearish targets if the market does reverse and all of this bullish optimism kind of gets alleviated from the market. Most likely we are going to see Casper drop down beneath June lows, anywhere between 2 to 1.5 cents. I have buy limits set. And as for the bullish perspective on Casper in the short term, I'm looking to take intraday trading positions up into 4.5 to 5 cents on Casper. Well, I will continuously pull profit once we get those market pullbacks, and I will reallocate those funds back into my Casper long-term bags. Okay. So with that being said, CYPRX strategy coming into this trading day. Again, I am a New York session trader. You guys can see that this trade took place right towards the end of New York session before the market rolled over into Asia session. Simply all I did was I paid attention to the previous day's areas of price action during New York session. We can see that New York session took buy positions multiple times. We see here a New York session took buys, New York session took buys, and then coming into this trading day on August 7th, New York session took buys. So logically speaking, again, we approach the markets logically. And again, I advise that you guys do the same here, not financial advice, but it is the best way to approach the market, in my personal opinion, from a logical perspective. We know that if the market is consistently respecting bullish order flow in the form of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, which we can clearly see the market was making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, we know that until these higher lows are broken, most likely we are going to remain bullish or continuously respect bullish order flow. With that being said, coming into this August 7th trading day, when I put out that tweet to you guys at roughly around 4:30 p.m., I'd mentioned to you guys that we are going to be continuing the trend targeting 4.5 cents. With that being said, we're going to jump down to the 10-minute time frame, and I'm going to show you guys how I scaled into this dollar cost average position. Okay, so we see the New York session open. The New York session opens bullish and creates structure. So let me zoom into the structure that the market created on the fractal nature of things. You guys can see that during the New York session open, we had a nice bullish pump. We are not going to chase the market here. We are going to wait to seek to allocate funds in the form of discount price into Casper once we get a bullish retracement, meaning that we see a higher low established. We see the market break structure, which it did here. The market created a structure high. That structure high was broken. And now we have a significant higher low that we can seek to allocate funds into Casper if the market retraces in the form of a discount to add to their position. Again, the banking institutions cannot just drive price higher off of one institutionalized order. They have to take positions based off of scale-ins off of their original orders, which we can see happened here. And then another one happened here that led to a market break in structure. So with that being said, simply all I did was I waited patiently for a market pullback. I took my Fibonacci from the significant higher low, which was created right here that led to the market break in structure, to the high, extended that over. And I like to enter in at roughly around 79 to 100% discount. You guys can see that the market makers pulled price back into 79% discount, which gives us a decent risk to reward setup to minimize our risk and minimize our exposure to this market, to then maximize our reward and continue this bullish order flow. And you guys can see how that played out. I told you guys that I was going to be targeting 4.5 cents. That price target has not come into fruition yet, which is why once the market started to reverse and create lower lows and lower highs, which you can see here during this Asia session, that indicates that the market makers were pulling profit themselves, because we know that we as retail traders do not have the amount of volume or volatility in the market to create this kind of pullback. Right? We do not have the capital in our funds to create this market movement. So when we see the market pulling back like this, we know that big players are partialing out. They're taking profit from their trade down here at these lows. So I followed suit. I took partials from this trade. So with that being said, the profit that I took, I'm looking to reallocate that money back into the market once we see a bullish signal or a bullish sign of a reversal. Maybe hopefully tomorrow when CPI comes out for the United States dollar on Wednesday, high impact news, we can seek to see if price action can continue up into those 4.5 cent to maybe 5 cent regions. And if not, we will sit on our hands and we will be patient and we will seek to wait for further discounted prices. Blessings to you guys all. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video breakdown. Again, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if anybody's interested in learning the strategy and how we approach the markets via technical analysis in extreme detail. The link is in the description down below. I've given you guys multiple call outs on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, make sure that you guys do so, again, by copying the link that's in the description below on the YouTube videos. That's the best way to do it. We are shadow banned on Twitter, so it's hard to find us just by searching our name. As always, be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video breakdown.
Draw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la.